Alright, welcome back to my channel. This is my new theory, the Ralsei connection theory. This is my shortest theory yet, but I think it's also the one that's most likely to become true in the coming chapters. Okay, I want to first go over the theme seen in all the secret bosses from chapter 1 and 2. So far, what we've seen is they both originate from something that is discarded. The object in Light World is an object that's been discarded by humans. They both went crazy after learning the truth. They both have connection to Gaster, and they were both presumably told something by Gaster that made them go crazy. These things can be assumed to be the same in the upcoming chapters, and I also think that upcoming Weird Route will end with the secret boss as the main boss, as seen with Spamton. If you don't know much about Gaster, these are the things that you need to know about him for this theory. Gaster is shattered across time and space. Gaster is the person to guide you through the character creator. The character creator is actually known as the Goner creator in the code, and which connects them to the characters known as the Goners in Undertale, who have a low chance of spawning, and we'll talk about Gaster's backstory. And the final one is Gaster talks to you on death in chapter 1. Okay, here's my theory. I believe that Ralsei fits within the themes shown by the current secret bosses, and could possibly be a final secret boss. Ralsei is shown to have a connection to Gaster, as prophecy was said to be told by him by time and space. Ralsei's presence is ignored by Lightners other than Chris and Susie. This is similar to how a lot of time, once you leave the room with the secret boss, no one else mentions secret boss afterwards. Ralsei's object has to be something that's gone missing and is unused or discarded, as no one has mentioned the object being missing that could fit with Ralsei. Also, if Ralsei is the horns, then Chris has obviously stopped using them, making them discarded. Ralsei has shown knowledge of the player, meaning he likely has knowledge of his reality, just like the secret bosses we've seen. So I think this means that Ralsei will be one of the secret bosses, if not the last secret boss. I also believe that the secret bosses are experiments done by Gaster on Darkness. My reasoning for this is that we see both Jevil and Spamton be given different information by Gaster. Jevil learns everything about his success, causing him to go crazy, while Spamton only is told what he needs to know to succeed, but once that help stops coming, he then goes crazy. I think Gaster is trying to find the perfect amount of information to be told, so that the Darkner doesn't go crazy, but knows about the existence of their reality. And I think Ralsei is the final result of this. I think the perfect solution for this problem has already been solved by Gaster, and has been shown to us through the prophecy. As I mentioned before, it can be gathered that Gaster told Ralsei about said prophecy, which connects him more to his secret bosses. And the fact that the prophecy tells Ralsei about his situation shows to us that this is the final form of it, as Ralsei's not crazy. So the idea is that the prophecy tells them about their reality, but forms it as a story, and connects it to them by giving them a mission. And Jevil and Spamton both didn't have a mission connected to that information. They went crazy trying to find one. This also explains why Ralsei is so against doing their own things like acting, as it could be seen as them overstepping on the prophecy, which could lead to them not having a purpose. If the player loses interest in playing, then Ralsei will also lose their purpose in the progress. Also, Ralsei not wants us to think about secret bosses, because he doesn't want to think about them, as he might see them himself in them, and he might want to try to ignore the possibilities of that happening to him, which might seem rude or like Ralsei's being evil in some way, but it's important to remember that Ralsei is a child, so this response is fair. As I mentioned before, I think each secret boss moving forward will become the new main villain of a Weird Route, and if Ralsei is a secret boss, and is what the secret boss is leading up to, it makes sense in the same chapter, Ralsei will be the Weird Route boss, which connects quite well to his character, as he wants us to do the passage run, and get all the Darkners to the main fountain. But if we do a genocide run or weird room, then we are obviously going against that, and Ralsei might retaliate against us. There's one thing I want to point out, which is there's a theory by Sonsuke, which I have linked in the description, which says that Ralsei might be the vessel. And if that's the case, the vessel is described as being discarded, so it makes sense that the vessel is going to be a secret boss, because it connects quite well to Spamton and Jevil. And if Ralsei and the vessel are the same person, then this directly connects the idea that Ralsei is going to be the secret boss. Overall, I think this is a fun theory, and I think it actually might come true. At the very least, I think Ralsei being a Weird Root boss makes a lot of sense. And as the Weird Root bosses seem to connect to the secret bosses, it would make sense that it's the same vice versa. I would also like to give thanks for 100 subscribers, and sorry about this video being shorter than most. I've been putting a lot of effort into my mod, Undertale Action, which the first dev vlog is out right now. I'd recommend you go check it out.